You know, peanut butter, what a gift.
What is the name of that movie I watched? Finding You? Is that what it was?
Landry, peanut butter, what a gift.
I love peanut butter. I
Well,
absolutely love
Here's
peanut
the thing
butter.
about peanut butter. You love it as a kid, right? And then you go away from it. In my 20s, I didn't eat a lot of peanut butter. Frankly, in my 30s, I didn't. But then when you become health conscious again and you give up sugar, or try to, you start looking for anything that tastes good that doesn't make you fat. And I was reintroduced to peanut butter in my 40s.
Well, somebody, I don't know if it was one person or more, led me to believe that peanut butter had, it's sugar and it's not as good for you as everybody. We did the foolish thing, where we decided, we'll try to eat natural peanut butter, where it's just peanuts and salt. That's about it.
Yeah.
Well, you do a side-by-side comparison to sugar. I'm always looking at sugar. That's something I try to limit my sugar intake. Will you hold up a jar of Jif and a jar of Smucker's natural peanut butter? And what is the natural peanut butter may have, 1 gram of sugar less? I mean, it's an inconsequential difference. But the enjoyment level of Jif, it is head and shoulders. Eating that natural peanut butter makes me sad.
So doing a cost-benefit analysis,
It's not worth
easily
the lack
made
of enjoyment.
Jif. By the way, Jif is the best peanut butter.
What is the worst besides Walmart brand? No offense. I've had Walmart brand. We give it to the dog.
Well, there's only 3 kinds, right? There's
Jif, Peter Pan, and Skippy. What about Smucker's?
Do they still
Does
make-
Smucker's make a good peanut butter? Or just the natural?
I think
Surely.
it's just the natural.
So-
Do they still make Skippy?
Probably. There's money to be made. Let me do
Jif,
a search.
Jif, Skippy, and
Skippy,
Peter Pan.
peanut.
Do they still make Peter Pan?
Hey, Walmart carries it. And Brady carries it, so I don't know.
96.5 KECO. It is the early morning show. Nathan Landry and you. You can text us. You can text us. little thick with that peanut butter. Text us at 225-9697. 74 degrees, clear skies. It actually felt pretty good this morning outside.
I asked you the question, and I don't know. I wasn't listening to your answer. What is the worst peanut butter of the 3?
I don't know.
Skippy.
I remember.
It's not Jif. Jif is the best.
I remember it was either Skippy or Peter Pan that I tasted in the last 10 years, and I just remember being really underwhelmed by it. And I remember thinking, well, Jif is so much better than this.
What if I ask Google, what is the best peanut butter?
Was Jif the Annette Funicello peanut butter, or did she do Skippy or Peter Pan? That was Skippy, wasn't it?
Oh, I don't know. I thought it was Jif.
Maybe it was.
Well, Nathan, AI says the best overall peanut butter choices depend on your preferred style, with top picks including Jif creamy peanut butter for conventional smooth spreads, Teddy All Natural
Never heard of it.
for rustic all natural crunch, and 365 by Whole Foods Market for pure, unsweetened flavor.
I've changed a little bit of my peanut butter. 30 years ago, I favored the crunchy.
Yeah.
But in my adulthood, as I've really refined my sense of ought and my palate, I have decided I don't want crunchy. I just want the smooth flavor of peanut butter.
Nathan,
If I want nuts, I'll just go eat some peanuts.
Facebook knows I like watching videos of people making delicious food.
Yeah.
And so yesterday, I watched a video that was ridiculous.
Okay.
It was a woman making a dessert, and the bottom layer was Klondike bars. She put about a dozen Klondike bars.
mercy.
Now, a Klondike bar is a dessert all by itself.
What would you do for a Klondike bar?
She put down, I don't know, a dozen Klondike bars in a cake pan. She topped it. She took out a tub of Cool Whip, added an ice cream scoop of peanut butter, and then some other type of flavor. Layered the top of the Klondike bars. But then she kept going. And then she added what was the next go round? It was she bringing all these peanut butter and chocolate nutter butter. Oh, it was nutter butters.
Okay.
She put whole nutter butter. But she
no.
didn't stop there. On top of it, and then she put nuts in between.
That's
and then
ridiculous.
she put on another layer of Cool Whip, and she was topping it with peanut butter and chocolate, and then these can you get peanut butter chocolate Oreos? And Reese's Reese's Peanut Butter Cups and Reese's Pieces.
All right, here's my hot take on that.
And of course, this woman, I got to see the woman making it. She took a bite. You put it in the freezer and freeze it for 30 minutes. And she took it out and she took a bite. She looks like she never eats dessert in her life. And Nathan, eating that would put you into a diabetic coma.
Well, first of all, let me tell you something. I can tell you without seeing it or tasting it that there's too much there.
Yes.
I don't like desserts with 98 ingredients in it and 98 flavors going in all different directions. You need a theme. Your mouth needs to have some sort of a coherent theme going on. And by the way, yeah, you can take any existing dessert and add stuff to it. But what you just described is the equivalent of going to Brahms, getting a gallon of delicious ice cream, and then saying, you know what? I think I'm going to pour on it some syrup and honey and marshmallows and chocolate sauce and some brown sugar.
Chop up a Snickers bar and a Butterfinger.
Oh, I just made a dessert. No, you combined other people's desserts.
Nathan.
It's time to make your Monday sweet. Head to SK Donuts in Elk City. From classic glaze to cream and jelly filled, there's a treat for everybody. SK Donuts, 1926 West 3rd in Elk City, 7 days a week. They're open right now. SK Donuts. When your operation runs on equipment, you got to keep the equipment running. Get just about everything your engines need at Camrock. Buy in bulk at Camrock Supply. You save time and money. It's next to Fred's Steakhouse in Elk City. 74 degrees, your weather at the bottom. Text us at 225-9697. Favorite peanut butter. What is your favorite peanut butter? 225-9697. Landry, let me tell you and everybody else about my Saturday chore.
I cannot wait.
Now, Landry knows
All
somewhat.
about this.
Landry knows somewhat because
Little bit.
we share a blog on Saturday evening. We blog. It's called Saturday Blues, where we talk about everything that went wrong that day. I had to fix something that in 25, 28, 30 years of owning a home, I'd never faced before. Isn't it always interesting after decades of owning a home when something happens and you say, well, this has never happened before? In my garage, I had some of my sheetrock sagging on the edge where it had been screwed into a 2x4 or 2x6. It started pulling away. And I started wondering why. Why in the world would that happen just out of the blue? And I don't know that I have a good answer for it as to why. I Googled it and then, it started with, of course, you've got, what are they called? Just pieces of sheetrock, and where they come together, a joint there, you always tape and mud that, right? Well, I noticed a year ago, my tape on one of the joints, my tape was starting to peel back. There's, of course, that ridiculous 1980s Scourge, the acoustic that you spray onto the ceilings of your home. My garage had it.
Acoustic.
Yeah, that's the popcorn.
Oh, the popcorn.
The popcorn stuff.
Acoustic.
I think it's also called acoustic.
We just call it popcorn.
Well, so some of that had started to peel away, and then the tape starts. And over the last year, it happened to a couple of other joints. Well, I got to looking about a week ago. And oh my goodness, that looks like it's sagging. So this past Saturday was D-Day. I got up just to see what was going on and make sure. I thought, okay, because 2 Saturdays ago we had the fishing derby and I couldn't do anything about it. So I like to wait until it's about 100 degrees to really get into my home repairs. So Saturday morning, I actually climbed up into the attic. And believe me, at 10 o'clock, 10:30 in the morning, already very hot in my attic. And I could see, oh, look, there's daylight coming through where the sheetrock is now sagging. And it was sagging. I didn't realize how big the sag was. It must have been sagging 3 or 4 inches. I mean, about no kidding, about half of the sheetrock on the west side of my garage was pulling away from that 2x6 there. Mm-hmm. And I don't know why. Okay, well, I can fix it, I suppose. I can try. And so I had purchased the day before some drywall screws. Had my drill ready, had the extension cord ready, had a step stool ready so I could get it. I hate working overhead. That is the worst, working overhead. So what do, Landry? I start trying to, okay, I'm pushing with my left hand, and I'm going to try to screw, and I see pretty quickly, oh, this is a problem. Because when you're going overhead and you're screwing into things, into boards, you need leverage. Okay, you need there's physics involved. I need strength, I need leverage, I need to, force. Well, I can't do that one-handed. So what I needed to do was I needed a jimmy there to stick I needed to get the sheetrock back up against the 2x6. Oh, what do I have? I'm just a guy. I think, okay, well, you know what? What if I could saw a 2x4? I'll measure it, and if I get it just a little longer than necessary, and I'll stick a 2x4 in here, and that'll shove the sheetrock up against the 2x6, and it'll free up my other hand.
You had a 2x4?
I did. I've made it a practice for years and years and years to keep extra pieces of timber lying around just in case. And so I found a 2x4, and I measured it, and I sawed it by hand. I don't have a power saw. I have a hand saw. And so I did. Sawed it, jimmied it, stuck it in there, and that worked. But Landry, home repair just can't be easy. It just can't be. When you have a garage door, when you have a garage and then a garage door, you have a thing called a spring. That actually raises, when you push the button and it raises the garage door, right? Mm-hmm. I had to have mine repaired 4 or 5 years ago, or replaced. So I did. Okay, so I can't, and it's positioned so that I can't get to the edge with my drill by going under, I can't go straight into it. So I've got to go in at an angle. I've got to stick these screws in at an angle, which is less effective, and of course you get less leverage on it, and it's harder and takes longer, and sweat is rolling into my face because you got to drop the garage door to do all this work. I neglected that little nugget after climbing into my attic and sweating and crawling around in the dark. Then I get back down into my garage. Okay, got to drop the garage door now so I can actually get to the thing and do the work. And I can't go straight at it. If I could have gone straight at it, that would have cut the time drastically. It would have made it simpler. I probably could have used fewer screws. I would have sweat a lot less, but you do what you do.
At any point during all of this, how many times were you reduced to tears?
Oh, never really. I thought, I can get it because I don't know if it's age or I just figured, you know what? Okay, I can probably get it. Now, was it a professional job I did? No. You know why? I'm not a professional. But you know what? I think it'll get the job done. It got the job done. It's back up. And it seems to be okay.
You didn't use the same screw holes, did you?
No, I did not. No, and you know what? I found some pictures in my attic while I was up there. I got a few pictures which I was able to share and really, I think, enjoy yesterday. I think I brought some people together yesterday. I really do. 18 minutes after 7, 96.5 KECO's The Early Morning Show. Landry, in segment number 2, we're going to do weekend movie review. And I did something I rarely do. I didn't watch one movie. I didn't watch 2 movies, Landry. I watched 3 this weekend. Barbara Dyson Ford is offering 2.9% for 72 months and 2.9% for 84 months, plus $1,000 customer cash on all F-150s. I mean, let that sink in. All F-150s. Barbara Dyson Ford, northeast part of Elk City. Nathan Landry and you.
Keep chugging that coffee. The Brewer Boys will be back with the early morning show in a couple of minutes.
I mean, because when they're in a bind, they're in a bind. You want that company to think of you first. Oh, we need this. Well, call Brock. You call me. We'll get it taken care of. When they call you, they want you to answer the phone. And whether it's Sunday, Saturday, or Monday, they also want customer service. Do what you say you're going to do. You needed a hose like yesterday. We will stop what we're doing. And if we got to go to our Oklahoma City shop and get it, we'll do that. And I've done that for a lot of my customers. If they call me, they're expecting me to get whatever task done. To a farmer, a tractor, combine, gets them up and running. He's back in the field, makes some money. Guy in the oil field, their piece of equipment's running again. That makes some money. Solves that problem. I'm Brock Kalk, and my company is American Hose and Supply. Come by and see us at 2111 South Main, Elk City, Oklahoma, in Camrock Building next to Fred's.
Or call 303-1123. 303-1123.
Why wouldn't you?
America's favorite pickup just got a little sweeter. Ford Motor Company is offering 2.9% interest for 72 months and 2.9% interest for 84, plus $1,000 customer cash on all F-150s. If your old one got too old, it's time to trade in and trade up. If you've only driven the others, come see why so many only go F-Series. And then let us take care of you like we see you at the family reunion. We call it the Barbara Dyson difference. Summer savings continue at Barbara Dyson Ford in Elk City. Online, BarbaraDysonFord.net.
Most people in town are still sleeping when I leave for work each morning. I back out of the garage, then ease through the darkness to where driveway meets asphalt, and I stop and look east to check traffic. And there it is, way off on the eastern horizon. An old friend is just beginning to give off its orange, red, and yellow glow. It usually makes me smile because it's beautiful, but also because it's there every morning, like clockwork. I know it's going to be there before I even look. And on the rare days when clouds try to hide its appearance, I still know it's there because it's always there, a reliable friend. It's great to have things you can count on like that. It's great to know people you can count on like that. People like Colby Brewster. When sickness brings darkness to my family, there's always a beam of light on the horizon, a ray of hope that we'll feel better soon.
Grandview Pharmacy and Gifts, now located at 1503 West 3rd Street in Elk City.
I'm a dental nerd because I love dentistry. I love what I get to do. I love learning anything more that I can to help serve my patients. And also it helps fulfill me because I enjoy what I'm doing. I love what I do. My favorite part is the chairside interactions with patients and my team. I have an opportunity to do a few artistic things. I love the cosmetic aspects of dentistry. Part of it because I've had other people make me feel like I'm good at it. And who doesn't want to feel good about something if somebody tells you that you're good at it?
I'm Dr. Jamie Cameron, Southwest Dentistry and Cosmetics in Weatherford, catty corner to Walgreens. swdentalok.com.
Southwest Dentistry and Cosmetics, where we treat you like family and do life-changing dentistry.
For over 100 years, Farm Credit of Oklahoma has proudly served our area's farmers and ranchers. So when it comes to ag lending, don't fret it. Call Farm Credit. You'll never regret it.
The Brewer Boys have a lot more to say. Get ready for more of the Early Morning Show right now on KECO.
23 minutes after 7, 96.5 KECO's The Early Morning Show. Nathan Landry and you. Text us up at 225-9697. We're asking about what's your favorite peanut butter, what's the best, what's the worst. Do you eat peanut butter? What do you eat it on? Do you like peanut butter cookies? Do you like it the sandwiches? Do you eat it straight? Do you eat it with a fruit? What do you eat peanut butter on? See, when you get to be our age, see, Landry and I are now upwards of like 32 years old or something. Okay, we're 50. When you get to be older, if you're worried about your health, and frankly, Landry, I think a lot of people just aren't worried about their health. But if you are worried and you don't want to pile in the sugar, you do start looking for treats that you enjoy but are relatively healthy. And peanut butter is one of those. It's one of those fairly low sugar. Okay, and so I've really started eating more peanut butter the last few years.
And you know what? It is a treat.
So what's the best? What's the worst? I think Jif is easily the best peanut butter I've ever tasted. What's the best? 225-9697. You got two choices for your big machinery. Either wait until you bust a hose and, it's an emergency, or get ahead of things by being supplied ahead of time. Either way, American Hose and Supply will get the job done. It's up to you. I'd call ahead of time, but it's up to you. 303-1123. American Hose inside the Camrock building next to Fred's Steakhouse. Coulter Sanders responded to, I was talking about my chore Saturday morning, something I'd never had to do before, is shore up sagging sheetrock in my ceiling. And I was talking about all the heat and what I had to go through. And Coulter Sanders said, just be a man. And you know what? That's about right. Just be a man. And it was probably about the heat, I'm guessing. I don't know. 225-9697.
I think that's his way of saying, be a man and hire someone to do the job for you. Hire a professional who knows
Landry,
what he's doing.
You know how frustrating it is? This is always the way. When you have a repair job, okay, yeah, stuff has to be maintained. It's got to be fixed. Okay, I'll do it. And then you start in, and there's some obstacle to doing the repair. And when I could not get the drill behind that spring, the garage door spring,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I could get it part of the way. I could get the screw started, but I thought, wait a minute, my drill's not getting any close. Oh, the spring is stopping me.
They probably make some kind of extension.
I guess.
But here's the thing. Job is much easier if you know what you're doing and you have the equipment to do it.
And it's not overhead, and you're not working in 130-degree heat.
Carpenters, people who build stuff, they would probably be able to do that lickety-split, no trouble, because they know what to do, and they probably have the equipment to do it. All kinds of, these extension drill bits and drivers, and they probably, make them at 90-degree angles and bizarre. And if you have the right equipment and you know what to do, you have experience doing it, you can do it. You can probably do it pretty quickly. But see, I take what should be a 20-minute home repair and it becomes a 2-hour home repair. That's done not very well.
Because, listen, it's never as simple as the professionals on YouTube make it seem like. Oh, this is like a 20-minute repair. This is a simple. And that's always in the description, too. Simple home repair. If you know what you're doing and have the tools.
Yeah, but when they start using words you don't know and that you don't understand, that's when I know I'm in trouble.
Uh-huh.
And that's when I say, oh, you know what? Gonna have to call somebody.
Landry, it's time. Are you ready?
No.
Oh, I can't do it. Oh, wait, or did I not push the button? Oh, that's odd. It's not letting me use these hotkeys. We used those last week, didn't we?
Use that one.
Wait, why could I use that one and not other ones? Okay, that worked. That worked. Okay, the donkey worked. Why won't that or that?
Serenity now.
Okay, that worked. But that won't. The music won't. That is so bizarre. I wonder if I removed some stuff. Anyway, whatever. It's time for Weekend Movie Review. Landry, go.
Friday night, I rewatched Finding You because Nathan reminded me that I had seen that movie and I liked it. And so I watched it again. And you know what? The rewatch was even better than the first watch. After failing an audition, a violinist travels to Ireland to find inspiration and meets a famous movie star looking for a real connection. The gal who was really the central figure of this movie.
So she's a star, Landry.
The actress who was also the central figure in the movie Surprised by Oxford. And she's likable enough. And she meets this... she's an American who goes to Ireland. We learn her brother passed away. We don't know why, but the brother had passed away. The brother had gone to the same place in Ireland. We don't know why. But she's frustrated as a violinist because she goes to the audition, and while she plays the notes correctly, she does so without enthusiasm, Nathan.
Landry, she lacked passion.
There was no passion. And so they said thanks, but no thanks. And so she goes to Ireland to find herself and to retrace her brother's steps and to stay at the bed and breakfast. And on the plane, she sits beside an American movie star named Beckett Rush. And the two find each other, and they strike up a connection. And it's a nice movie, and Vanessa Redgrave is in it. And Nathan pointed out that the guy who plays the old bum fiddler is a real actor who played Julia Roberts' dirtbag husband in the movie Sleeping with the Enemy that I watched as a junior in high school in 1992.
And this was his big comeback, I
But you know
suppose.
what? As a vagabond fiddler, he was very likable. And then Saturday night, I watched part 2 of an American Experience documentary about the presidency of John Kennedy.
All right, so Friday night I also watched Finding You. And one of the nice things about that movie is the supporting cast was pretty good. The Beckett Rush, the movie star, his dad, if you saw him, he's one of those guys, if you saw him, you'd say, oh, yeah, I recognize him.
Who was it?
I don't even know his name, but he's one of those guys, if you see him, you say, oh, yeah, I recognize him. And he was good at playing a dirtbag dad, trying to run his son's life. But then later, the bed and breakfast crew, the mom and dad and daughter who ran the bed and breakfast.
Really liked the daughter.
They were just so likable. And And of course, it's beautiful scenery. I think it was, where was it shot? Was that the one shot in New Zealand? Or was that the other
Ireland?
movie?
What about the cliffs?
Was that the other movie I saw?
They couldn't have possibly done that with computers.
But the scenery was beautiful.
It was.
And it was just nice. And then Saturday, I watched a movie on Netflix called Ordinary Angels, which actually was made in 2024. But it just came out on Netflix within the last couple of weeks. Hilary Swank is the lead, okay? She plays a hairdresser in Louisville, Kentucky. And by the way, this movie it's called a faith-based movie. It's in that category, and it's based on a real-life story that happened in 1994 in Louisville, Kentucky. Hilary Swank played a down-on-her-luck hairdresser who, when you find out she had a bad past, her childhood was bad, and she was a heavy drinker, and she'd had a son, but she and the son were estranged. And then fast forward to 1994, and there's a woman who dies. The woman's married. By the way, the guy that plays the dad, the widower, I thought I know him. Oh, I said, oh yeah, that's the guy. That's the huge actor who plays Jack Reacher in the series on Prime Video.
Oh, the muscular guy.
Yeah,
the big muscle guy.
Yeah. Okay. He plays Jack Reacher in the Jack Reacher Prime Video series.
Mm-hmm.
Well, 2 years ago, he played a dad with a mustache who was some sort of a worker somewhere. He did work. Anyway,
Did he fix garage roof?
I wish he did. His wife dies. Okay.
Uh-huh.
And that leaves behind him and two daughters. Well, the daughter needs a liver transplant. Oh, just sad. And bills are piling up. And it's just, well, Hilary Swank, meanwhile, the hairdresser in the same town, just happens to find out about these people. Maybe through a newspaper story.
How big is Louisville?
It's Louisville. It's big enough. The University of Kentucky's there. Finds out about him.
What about Louisville?
Actually,
is it there
and in the movie shows up at the funeral. Now, I don't know if she didn't realize, but it just really feels for this dad and his kids, and just starts raising money for them and helping them out. And it culminates in trying to get her a liver. The little girl needs a liver, and all they go through to get her a liver, and what Hilary Swank goes through to pay the bills. It's just my whole family ended up watching it, and everybody was cheering and happy at the end. And so it's about 2 hours, but it's just a nice movie.
You know, Nathan, if I was willing to pay, you can rent the movie Pressure for $10 on Prime Video.
I'd like to see that movie.
I would too. I'm not quite ready to pay $10 to rent a movie.
7:33, we're doing weekend movie review on 96.5 KECO's The Early Morning Show. And then yesterday afternoon, I treated myself later. You got to change it up once in a while. So yesterday, you come home from worship and you have a quick bite of lunch.
Did it involve peanut butter?
And I decided, okay, I've got some time between here and this other thing I'm going to go do called visit my parents. And I thought, you know what? Why not just watch a frothy, fun movie? So I rewatched a movie on Netflix called The Royal Treatment, starring Laura Marano, who is just delightful. She was a Disney TV star 10 or 15 years ago. She was on Austin and Ally. And then she's gone on to do movies like The Perfect Date and a Christmas movie. Let's see, Cinderella Christmas and The Royal Treatment. And she is just as talented, and she's just delightful. She's likable.
I think I've seen that one.
You see, where it's ridiculous. It is a ridiculous premise where the king of this Prince of Lavinia, and somebody asked her. Remember, it's a Netflix movie. It was made for Netflix. Somebody asked her, "Where's Lavinia?" Oh, it's east of Aldovia, which is another one of those made-up kingdoms in a Netflix Christmas movie. But Laura Marano ends up doing the prince's hair, and they're so taken with her. They invite her to come do all the hair for the royal wedding when the prince marries the would-be princess.
But he probably doesn't really want to. It's probably an arranged marriage.
It is!
And he doesn't want to marry her.
He doesn't. And guess who he falls in love with?
I think I've seen this one.
It's just lighthearted. It's ridiculous, but it's lighthearted and fun. And that Laura Marano is about as likable as sunshine.
Lavinia. Aldovia.
Yes.
Bulgravia.
There's Bulgravia. I think that is one. And then, of course, there's Genovia in Princess Diaries. 96.5 KECO's The Early Morning Show. Did you watch anything this weekend? Did you eat any good peanut butter? Did you do any house repairs? I did all three. 96.5 KECO. This Thursday night, picking in the park. You and me going picking in the park. Dean Jackson, Cody Brewer, JC from the Back Roads, Brian White. It's Thursday night, Ackley Park in Elk City, absolutely free. Music starts at 8. Bring your lawn chair, bring your ice cold Dr. Pepper and Coca-Cola and your Red Diamond unsweet tea. Snow cones and fresh lemonade will be available thanks to Moran Equipment, Josh and John Thomas with Edward Jones, Hutton Incorporated, Culver Stone Construction, Tanny Little with Exploration Realty, and Ty Ford Realty. It's this Thursday, July 30th, Ackley Park in Elk City, 8 p.m. Picking in the Park, absolutely free live music. How about you now? Beckham County Sheriff Derek Manning scheduled to join us. We got your weather breakdown. We got O&N Morning News. That's Landry.
That's Nathan.
The early morning show on KECO will be back any minute. If you love America, you won't change the station.
There are times you're sitting here and you can't help but cry. It's hard. A lot of the families that, they've been married for 75 years and one of the spouses has passed away. That's unimaginable to me, what that would be like. But you listen. I mean, I'm interested. I like hearing how they met and what they did on their last anniversary, or, how many kids they have and stuff like that. I think that's cool. I like hearing that. Most of the people that come in here, when they start talking about that person, they start telling stories. And once they start telling stories, the mood lightens, and then they start laughing. Our receptionist in here is always amazed at the number of times people come in and they're kind of standoffish. And before they leave, they're laughing and cutting up and being themselves. I think that's a key. Willis Granite Products. Our website is willisgranite.com.
People call it hay wrap, but the technical term is net wrap. Our net wrap is like the strongest in the industry. It has a 12-month UV stabilizer so it don't break down, and it holds your bales together longer and makes it more worth your money. The cheaper stuff only lasts, I feel, if you wrap it, probably a couple months, and it's going to start breaking down when you try to move your bales. This one lasts a good over a year. Holds it tight. They want to keep their hay good, so it's good for their cows and horses not getting moldy and breaking apart when they're trying to move it and lose half of it down the road. There's like handles that's made on the roll because they're long and they're pretty heavy, but this makes it where you can pick it up and put it in there. It's not so bulky and you have to manhandle it so bad. It's the green and yellow brand colors, and everybody likes that color just because it holds up better and is stronger, and I've had a lot of good feedback from it. People can come get this hay wrap at Camrock Supply, 2111 South Main in Elk City. We're right south of Fred's.
Briley Bacca is an investment advisor, representative of, and advisory services offered through Royal Fund Management, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
One of my earliest memories was waking up to a box of donuts on the kitchen table. By the time I woke up, Dad had already been at work for hours. He'd come home just long enough to leave breakfast for me, take me to school, and then head right back to the office. Back then, I thought it was all about the donuts. Looking back, I realized it never really was. Dad wasn't just building a business, he was building a reputation. One handshake, one family, one relationship at a time. If you're looking for experienced retirement guidance from a family that spent more than 3 decades earning the trust of people we serve, we'd love the opportunity to earn yours. I'm Briley Bacca with Advanced Financial Strategies. Now the donuts are long gone, but the work ethic that put them on the table is still the foundation of everything that we do. Call us today, 323-6800, or visit our website, retirewithbacca.com.
Carter Electric in Elk City provides professional electrical services for residential, commercial, agricultural, and oil and gas applications, complete with overhead bucket truck capability for above-ground work, meaning they can service both overhead and underground transformers and installations. Since 1950, Carter Electric has served this area, and they continue to do so with dedication to quality and unsurpassed service. For your next electrical job or for an estimate, call Carter Electric in Elk City, 225-2447, or visit them at 217 West 12th Street in Elk City with 24-hour emergency service available.
Fence building or welding, John 6 will get her done. 6 Wire Company, 580-497-6213.
The early morning show. Think of it as a continental breakfast for the mind.
Every morning there's a free continental breakfast.
Continental breakfast.
It's back here on 96.5 KECO.
So it's continental then?
Mm-hmm.
96.5 KECO is the early morning show. Let's take a look at your forecast. It is going to be, well, it's going to be warm. That's odd. Today, sunny and hot, high near 105. Southwest winds 10 to 20. Tonight, clear 74. Tomorrow, 104. Wednesday, 103. Thursday, 104. Friday, 103. And then Saturday, Landry. Saturday and Sunday, only in the 90s.
Oh.
Which right now sounds pretty good, actually.
A cool off. A Russian weather front.
20 minutes away from the top, 76 degrees. Skies mostly clear. It actually feels pretty good outside right about now. Now, yeah, in about 6 hours, you're going to be crying. But right now, it feels pretty good. Briley did not know what his dad was actually doing. He just knew there were donuts at the breakfast table. Turns out Dad had been at the office a couple of hours, left to go get donuts, brought him home for little Briley to eat for breakfast, took the young man to school, and then Dad went back to the office to keep working and working and working. It's what Briley grew up seeing, knowing, learning, now doing. Brian and Briley Baca, Advanced Financial Strategies in Clinton. The website, retireWithBaca.com. Beckham County Sheriff Derek Manning is in the room to give us a take on law and order this past week. First of all, Sheriff, good morning. Thank you for being here.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
I know through the producer's pre-show interview that...
Producer's a nice guy.
Is that Steve? Yeah, Steve, the producer's name, Steve. That your office was involved in not 1, 2, 3, but 4 unattended deaths. Explain what those are.
It was a large number for a county our size in a week's time. So an unattended death is when somebody passes away with no medical personnel essentially there to that's caring for them or is trying to treat them at the moment. So you're not at the hospital. You're not under the care of someone who's come to your house to take care of you medically. And so those circumstances can be many. And so sometimes an unattended death ends up being something that's suspicious. None of these, in this case, were. An unattended death can take in a whole bunch of different scenarios. And all of these appeared to be natural causes at this time. There's one that we called the medical examiner out on and had them come down and take a look at it. And we always call the medical examiner in every case and give them all the circumstances we have. And in a lot of cases, it'll be somebody that suffered a lot of health problems and it was known that they were very sick and possibly near death, or the fact that whatever particular disease they were fighting caught up with them is not a surprise to people. And so that's still looked into. We still look at the scene. We still consider all the evidence that we can find there. But then when we do that, we call the medical examiner's office and say, hey, here's what we've seen. We call the DA's office, let them know. Call the medical examiner's office, say, here's what we've seen, here's what we've got, here's what we know, this is what the family has said. Or in some cases, we can't find any close relatives, and so this is what we know and what we see. And then every once in a while, they'll say, okay, that sounds correct. Everything you've got there adds up. So they're going to release the body to the funeral home, and that's the way we go. And then in some cases, the medical examiner says, you know what, I've got a couple of questions based on what you've told me, so we're going to come down and take a look at that with you. And so they'll come to the scene, and we don't touch anything pretty much until they get there. And they go over the scene with the investigators and look for details that either show that it was in fact a natural cause death, or that there was some other thing happened that maybe led to the death. And in most cases, and in some cases you have one that maybe is a suicide. None of those this week appeared to be that sort of thing either. But so we're looking for all of those possibilities, and that's what an unattended death is. We have to show up, perform some type of investigation to try to determine if this death was something that was going to happen anyway, or if it was somehow caused either by that person or by another person.
And so did the heat play any role in any of these?
Not that we know right away. The one where the medical examiner came down and assisted us with, I believe that was the one yesterday. I believe they're going to have an autopsy performed on that person just to find out for sure and rule out any possibility. So I can't say for sure on that one. The other ones appeared to be more natural causes. One did occur outside, and it was a person who was, I believe that person was in her 80s and had some medical issues. Just so happened that she was outside when this occurred, and so there are some circumstances there that we're looking at. They're a little different than sometimes when you find people and they've just either passed away in their sleep or that sort of thing. So all of those require investigation. Nothing right now that we're looking at has raised really any flags, and so it's just an inordinate amount in a week's time for a county the size of Beckham.
96.5 KECO's The Early Morning Show. Beckham County Sheriff Derek Manning is in the room. Training continues, and this a little bit electrifying.
Yeah, a little bit. So we had a taser training for pretty much all of our field personnel, and I want to thank John Currid and the folks at the VOTEC there in Sayre for giving us the space and helping set this training up. I believe our trainer came out of Greer County, I think Jackson or Greer County, I'm not sure. I didn't go to the training. I don't get trained on taser because I've got deputies for that. So I don't carry one. I never have, and so I've been through the training one time, but I don't carry a taser routinely, so I delegate. If somebody needs tased, I just grab the nearest deputy.
Moral of that story, don't mess with the sheriff. He doesn't deal in non-lethal
well,
weapons.
I do have less lethal devices. Taser just not one of them. I do carry I carry my old baton that I carried from the highway patrol, so I've always got access to that, but try not to hit anybody if I can keep from it. But no, it's something that these guys, a tool they have at their disposal and that they have used before. I don't see as much use of it as we used to, and I'm not sure what's behind that. But there aren't as many instances of taser use as we used to have, and I don't know if that's just we've got other things available now and they lean towards those, or if it just circumstances haven't come up. Sometimes things come in batches, but the whole field group and I believe, let's see, our SROs I think may have been there, and then we'll also be working through some of our detention staff. They do carry tasers in detention also, but they actually have been more inclined towards using the OC spray when that's needed in the jail, when there's a force, an extra step in force needed. So we've got several tools at our disposal. We try to stay trained up on them all, so that when we do need to use them, everybody knows how, when, and the legal and ethical ways to use those devices to make sure that we use only that force which is necessary and the force which gets the job done without going overboard on anything that we do. So it was good training for these guys. They all enjoyed having it. We actually have a suit this year. They didn't use it. I think they ended up using the steel targets, but we actually got a suit this year with our training devices where somebody can put on this suit and it shoots the taser at them, but it's a Velcro suit and the tasers are Velcro, but they still charge off just like they do, because our tasers are designed they're designed to activate the cameras. They work in tandem. The same company makes the taser system that we use for our cameras, Axon, and so they're designed to set off the cameras, and that way you've got a recording of that without the officer having to stop and think, well, do I need to turn my body cam on if I don't already have it on, and that sort of thing. So there are a lot of advances that have been made, and the training kind of focuses on a lot of that, but also on the law and the policy and everything that they're required to use to make the determination of whether to do that.
Beckham County Sheriff Derek Manning joining us, 96.5 KECO. Is it true one of your school resource officers is retiring?
Yeah, so Wendy Holland has decided to join Eddie in retiring from law enforcement. They've both been serving for a long time. Eddie, I believe, is still in some capacity working for the city, but he's no longer in the law enforcement business, and Wendy has decided to join him in that. She has been our SRO since we developed the SRO program. She was with us from almost the very start and helped us develop that program into something that we're very proud of, and she was sergeant when she retired, and so this month we're going to be honoring her this week with a little reception there at the sheriff's office. She kind of didn't want to. She's like, you guys don't need to do anything, but I think Sonia and some of the others maybe forced her into it. So we're going to have a little reception for her and just let her know how much we appreciate her. She's done a great job, and I hope those two enjoy their retirement from law enforcement and maybe can let go of some of that stress that comes along with the job.
Are you ready for the big picture, unplanned, philosophical question?
Okay, let's have it.
Is there something you wish people knew about law enforcement? Is there a misconception out there people have about law enforcement, or just a bit of information that you think, boy, it would sure be handy? I wish people understood this better.
I think the thing that is hardest for people to understand is how much most cops are really trying to do the right thing all the time, but it's in a situation and in a world where we don't have time to sit back and form legal opinions. We don't have time to sit back and form public opinions. We don't have time to really sit back and form anything. You're acting in such a violent, chaotic environment most of the time. Even when I say violent, I don't necessarily mean somebody swinging a hammer at your head all the time, but things are coming at you constantly, either verbally or sometimes physically, and they're happening in milliseconds, and you have to make those judgments. And most cops are trying their very hardest to do their very best, and they've trained, they've studied policy, they've studied the law, and they're trying to do that. And so the outcome sometimes is not as pretty as what it is as portrayed on television. It's often not pretty at all, but it's cops trying to do the right thing and do it in the right way, and then also the weight that they carry with them day to day and night to night when they're off duty or trying to sleep and that sort of thing. That this job adds a great deal of weight to these young men and women, and that goes for detention staff and dispatchers too. There's just something that there's a weight that other people don't really. They think they maybe have an insight into what they're going through, but they don't really know what these cops and young women, sort of, I'm sure much like the military, they don't understand the weight and the things that they're carrying and the stresses that are put into their lives and the habits and things that they have to train themselves to look out for that they can't turn off with a switch. And that makes it hard for those people and also for their families, wives, children, husbands. So, yeah, that would be the thing. And I don't know that you can ever internalize that unless you're one of those people carrying that weight around. But when you see a young man or young woman in uniform, take a moment and I mean, it's great to tell them that you appreciate what they do, but really sincerely stop and think for a minute about what that person may be carrying and just say a little prayer for them when they go by maybe.
Beckham County Sheriff Derek Manning. Derek, always enjoy talking to you on Mondays.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
We're now sitting at 8 away from the top. ONN Morning News, about 76 degrees, on our way to more than 76 this afternoon. This is KECO Radio.
This is news from the Oklahoma News Network.
The hottest stretch of the year is here for Oklahoma. State climatologist Gary McManus says most of the state will see triple-digit highs well into next week.
For those lucky few that don't reach 100, well, their heat index is going to be up, above 100 anyways.
He recommends using caution, doing anything outdoors, and remember to stay hydrated and take breaks. Oklahoma Task Force 1 is back home after helping with flooding in Texas. The team arrived Thursday night after assisting with swift water rescues. Their deployment helped the flooded communities of Tilden and Three Rivers. A new report shows Oklahomans are hit hard by inflation. The report commissioned by Energy Drive says Oklahomans have lost nearly $2,800 in purchasing power in the past 5 years. I'm Katie Gray.
This is the ONN, the Oklahoma News Network.
I'll be here to hear what's on your mind.
Kids want to share what's going on in their lives with the adults around them. Parents, grandparents, teachers, coaches, and more. They want to know you're listening, and they want to listen to you. They want your input and guidance, early and often, on all kinds of topics. When it comes to a serious subject like underage drinking, they want to know your expectations, as well as how and why as a young person they should avoid alcohol. How you talk about it will change as your child grows, but the important thing is to talk about it. Not just once for an hour when you think the time is right, but in 60 one-minute conversations and more that are part of your everyday talks. For more information about talking with your kids about underage use of alcohol and other drugs, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
When you need me, I'll be by your side.
If your computer won't go, call an ITL Pro. Innovative technology, 243-1559. Online at itlpros.com.
The Brewer Boys have a lot more to say. Get ready for more of the early morning show right now on KECO.
5 away from the top, 96.5 KECO's The Early Morning Show. Hope you got a copy of the latest Penny News. I do. I'm looking right at it. I'm looking at stuff. One of the nice things about the Penny News is all the helpful stuff that's in it. And if you're looking for something and you need to find it and you do find it, that's a great help to you, right? Well, if you need to haul stuff around and you need trailers, if you're looking for a travel trailer to see the country in, if you need a four-wheeler to rip around the pasture, if you need a generator, one of these big Olympian 50-kilowatt generators, I mean, all of that is on page 11 of the Penny News. Lots of good stuff. Page 11 of the Penny News. Take a look. Also, if you need a job, that could be helpful. Landry, if you need a job, look at the Penny News.
Thank you.
I'm telling you.
Thank you.
Are you teaching any classes this summer?
I taught 2. See, my semester ended last Wednesday.
How about
Finals finalized, so I'm on break right now. Semester begins 3 weeks from today. Full semester begins 3 weeks from today.
Did Holly have any summer classes?
One.
Somebody asked me that.
One or two.
Somebody asked me that and I couldn't answer it.
Online. It's all online now, Nathan.
Well, you know, the radio's all online now.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
Oh, yeah. Oh, no doubt. Right?
Did you know we are online? Looking back at text line, thank you, dispatchers, especially Michaela Denny, Micah Woodruff, and Captain Zachary Allen. They're the best. Okay. And another listener said, Jif, not Jeff. Jif, not Jeff. Have you ever eaten Jeff peanut butter? I've not eaten Jeff.
Is that an off-brand?
But I have eaten Jif. I think you can get it at you can get it down at Family Dollar or Walls or something.
So you maintain the worst peanut butter you've ever had was probably Peter Pan?
It was, yeah.
Was that a Annette Funicello?
I don't remember. It probably, yeah, that was it that or Skippy? I think it was Peter Pan. And it was just, I found myself thinking, it was either where's the taste or I wish I didn't taste it. You ever eaten something and thought, boy, I wish I couldn't taste this right now? That's what I did.
Yes. Annette Funicello is the most famous and long-running spokesperson for Skippy peanut butter, starring in popular television ads during the late 1970s and 1980s. Other notable stars who did ads for Skippy include Bert Lahr.
Oh, wow!
Remember what he played?
No.
Was he the lion on The Wizard of Oz? Was that Bert Lahr?
I have no idea.
Groucho Marx.
What?
He used to hawk peanut butter?
Landry, one of these days.
Basil Rathbone. Basil.
Landry, let's have a conversation. Let's have a real conversation on this show about the funniest human beings we've ever heard of. Either known personally or through the media. Stars. One of these days, let's do that. Let's have a conversation on this show about the funniest humans that we have contacted directly or indirectly.
Okay.
Are you prepared for that mentally?
I don't see why not.
Are you spiritually prepared for that?
Nathan, it took at least 4, maybe 5 hours for the temperature in my house yesterday to fall from 76 to 73. It took 4, I think maybe 5 hours for the temperature to fall 3 degrees inside my house, and the air conditioner was running the whole time.
Full stop?
100% full stop.
How did you feel about that?
I felt angry. I felt conflicted. I was angry and conflicted. I know it's going to tax my system and run up my bill.
What are they going to do with the Paycom Center? Are they going to tear it down after the new place gets built?
Surely not.
Somebody asked me that the other day. They had heard it was going to be torn down.
The new place is going to be where the Myriad was, right?
No, or is that where the convention center is going to be?
I don't know.
I don't either.
Surely they're going to keep... I think they're going to make it the new big house. That's where they should play the high school basketball tournaments in a